Alright guys, welcome back to Beautiful Mind today. If you're new here, I'm Roland Attenborough. I'm the leading GANN scientific and analytical researcher. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and the hourly chart. I get a lot of requests from a lot of you scientists and researchers and traders. Thank you to all of you, and thank you for having me as a guest. We've ascertained our sine wave coming back from our July 5th. So let's just recap. I just want to go backwards a little bit here so that we can start at the beginning and you guys understand how it is that I'm postulating these outcomes correctly. Alright, so this here is our sine wave. So I've copied it with what's called a bars pattern. Alright? And what we're doing is we are looking for similarities, or as a song or music, we're looking for a rhythm or for it to rhyme. And in doing so, we can take the beginning of this song or sine wave and we can apply it to all the swings. And when we get above these swings here, we just keep reapplying our sine wave and our bar pattern. So, to start with, we're going to do that with the bar pattern really quickly here. After our first sine wave, does it line up with our other sine wave here, guys? I'd say it looks pretty damn close. It's not always perfect, but it rhymes, right? Check it out. Let's just run it over here. Right? And it was really getting funny here until we got above this channel here, right here. And then things start to smarten back up again. Alright? So let's just move it along here. Let's just move it along here, right? Are you seeing all the tops and the way they line up and then the fall off? Alright? And just because we're doing this doesn't mean that necessarily will be what will happen. But this is the sine wave. So with that in mind, and I would like you to point out that this sine wave fits inside of our top and our local bottom at 30, or this 60,000 here. Sorry, I was going to say 38,000, but 63. And when we run out these parallel trend lines, it's no mistake that this cuts right through all of this and sits on our bottom here. So we're vibrating now off of an old top area, right? We talk about this. When you break above these, right, safest time to buy. So we've got up to here now. When's the safest time to buy Bitcoin? I can hear it in the background there. Yeah, that's right. It's 74,000. When this sucker comes back up and sits down on 74,000 or therein and does not show weakness, that would be the safest time to buy. I'll be buying September, mid-September, somewhere from the 15th or the 11th to around the 23rd. We're going to have a pullback and a very large and massive move up. And I really wanted to show you guys why I felt that it was going to happen, because history repeats itself. So let's now just go and have a look at the inside of this this market right now. Just take me a moment here to make this a lot bigger, because we need to analyze this. So our sine wave came up. We've had our top. We've had a pullback. The amplitude was very strong here in our current cycle. The previous first sine wave did not have its major pullbacks until around here. I believe this is lined up fairly close. Let's just make sure it's right on there. Okay, it's right on there now. So after our tumultuous 48 day top, or 53, I think it was, we get to 53 here, we have the rollover, and we start having a pitch down, okay? And then we move back up into this right here, and then another fall off. So the current cycle, the amplitude stayed above this low, which is signifying that, you know, there's some great strength. And I feel we're going to talk about this area in a second. So catching a bounce here and staying above this, and we are vibrating back again at two 45-degree angles, because I've taken this 45-degree angle, right? I've copied them, right? This one's our 0 angle, and I put it on our current low. Notice how it's catching us. We're just starting to fall through. What happens when we break this 45-degree angle? It's searching for a new low. Okay, so here we go. We know that in this hour here, in the next few hours, we could have a top. And this could, in fact, extend for several hours out to here. So let's go put our counter on here, and let's just go have a look at that one really quickly. Oops, sorry, the counter didn't populate there. So you guys, we were stating that by this 62, we'd have a fall off and then a bounce up. And then usually by 66, we have the end of the sine wave. And that's pretty much precisely what we have had. Our previous campaign showed us that that would be what it would be. However, we're not out of the woods until we get past this right here. So our sine wave ends here, but we begin again. So taking into account that we're now just breaking below this angle here, it is likely and possible, okay, given the fact that we have moved up this 9% here, 9.18%. I'm just going to line up this with our top. Our middle bar, really important here. And again, crossing this area, we have a 45-degree angle running down from our current top, and we have a low 1 times 2 angle, which is 22 degrees and a half. And it crosses here. We have a 45-degree angle from 0 from our top on our square and our bottom, right? And these two cross right here at this 65,000. We have to stay above that, guys. Like 65,000 is a 45-degree angle on our square 9. And as you guys know, that's a very significant point, right? If you're a musician, you'll know that the 45-degree angles, they equal the 8 octaves of the ear, or the 8 octaves of sound and time. Looking at this now, it is possible and likely that failing to break above this area and regaining this angle will bring us back to this angle right here. And we will be sitting around this crisscross area right here, just as we did here and just as we've done here. So right now this angle is very active. And when it finishes and sits down, and when we're done, which should be on this 29th, I mean, we should be finished all this stuff here. On my ephemeris, I'm calling for this in this week. This is when the last bit of this volatility hits, and we start having, again, more wide swings. Up, down, and pushing up to our old tops. There's a lot of volatility. Lots. We're not even talking about the news, guys, you know. I could go on about those things, the things that Trump's doing and whatever, but right now we're using mathematical and natural law. That's all we're doing. And we're finding the tops, and we're finding the swing bottoms, and we're releasing our emotion because we're a mechanical trader now. Okay, so from this old channel, you can see now, all right, these trend lines were derived from this blue, our first sine wave. So we must stay above. We must stay above this. Like, we cannot start falling below the 65, otherwise it's going to signal a bigger move down. So by that time, we're expecting now that into August, as you guys know, I'm calling for a swing top in August, and that will occur somewhere around the 15th, when our two friends, Mars and Jupiter, get together, and they have a big party. So there's usually a blow off there. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but you know, with our cycle forecasting here, it's lining up that there's some type of extreme volatility, a major swing top, a major swing down, lots of volatility, and then when we get into the 5th month from our halving event, September, things are going to get crazy. We're going to sit down and on this 72 and 74,000, and things are going to get really crazy till November 3rd. Oh yeah, we're going to have a big swing up, so pay attention to that. Also, guys, this next January too, we have another current pullback, and we'll be watching for that one before we get into the 10, 11, and 12 months of my forecast, where we will be making a top in 2025. February, March, and April will be the 10, 11, and 12. We will be having swing tops right there, some big ones. So, well, could be this 80, could be in the 90s, and we could also be up at 100, and we could certainly double and be at 140. Any of this is possible. We just need to measure the strength and weakness as it starts. Okay, guys, I wanted to just update you with that. We're just watching, use this bars pattern, just take our sine wave, bring our counts out. You can see where, you know, it's rhyming. You know, we're getting a lot of volatility here. Just because we're not getting the amplitude of moves, we're looking for the changes. Okay, we're not. It doesn't have to be that we have to have this tumultuous drop off. We're just stating that in the time cycles, we can measure that the end and the beginning of these are similar. So we're looking for similarities. Okay, so watching this now, we could have a reset, and like I'm saying, back to this right, this 66, 65 area. Looks like we will probably be vibrating back here. I'll be doing an update on that as well. Thank you for everyone reaching out to me. Since I put out an XRP some time ago on the time cycles, I'm getting a lot of feedback from many of you. It's generating a lot of outcomes, and I'd like to put out another XRP very soon here. So if you can be patient, one will be coming in the next few days, and we'll be tearing apart XRP. Okay, guys, this is Bitcoin. I trade Bitcoin, I mine Bitcoin, and it's the most successful thing, right? One Bitcoin right now is at 67,000, right? So just be careful out there. Use your counts. Use a stop loss. Make sure it is far enough below these. I told you, BlackRock and these guys, they are constantly looking for your Bitcoin. So be vigilant, guys. Be careful. Peace and love.